Happy New Year. This is a time where, of course, we like to reflect on the year and our lives and then set goals for the future. So today I'm going to share my goals, personal and professional, with you guys. So for this coming year, I have 5 different categories that I wrote my goals in. And I've read different goal setting books and done it different ways and followed people's programs in the past. But part of owning my own business is just kind of like doing it how I want to do it and how it makes sense to my brain. So here are my categories that I have goals in this year. Whoops. So giving goals, housing, which you'll see what that means, lifestyle, financial, and business. So let's start with business because that's what we're talking about in this channel. And I've shared before that I work part-time. YouTube takes up a lot of my time now. So I'm not as focused on a billion bookkeeping clients. I have a couple bookkeeping clients that I maintain and that I like. So because you're probably not a YouTuber, I actually have another video coming out next week that is very, very specific about a bookkeeper 5-year financial plan. So you can see this right here is the bird's eye view of it. I have every single year and how many clients you would have in this hypothetical case and how much money you would be making. So I think it goes from like $3,000 annually the very first year when you're learning and starting out, all the way up to $90,000 your 5th year as you're cruising along as a bookkeeper. And I have a spreadsheet that breaks out every single year and how much each client is giving you. So hopefully that will give you some inspiration specifically about bookkeeping. But in case you want a little more insight into me as a human, we're just gonna go over my goals for my life right now. So for my business, my main goal is to reduce stress in my life. And that's because my whole point of having a bookkeeping business is to have a more enjoyable life. So my goal is to work from 9 to noon each day. And then I had a year-end meeting with my team. That is one of my goals for them, is that they can work when they want. They're not stressing about the tasks that I have them perform, but overall work-life balance is one of my biggest goals. I also told them that I value ingenuity, so if they have an idea about a different way to do something, I'd love to hear it. And I can let you know about my team at this point if you're interested. I have a video that talks about hiring part-time contractors as a bookkeeper. You can hire a VA to help you with scheduling. VA is a virtual assistant, or you can hire a bookkeeper to help you with bookkeeping tasks. So there's a lot of different options. And mine has changed over the years. But right now I have a customer service person. So if you ever email me at hello@finepoints.biz, Krista is the one who's going to answer your emails most likely. She is great. She knows all about my programs and she has my answers that I've answered a bunch of questions so that she can convey those to you as needed. So that's Krista. And then I have a newer person who is doing all my marketing. So if you get an email from me, it's probably written by her. And then I promoted my previous marketing person to my online business manager. So she is the one who talks strategy with me. So her and I decide what projects we're gonna do. So this year my goal is to work on shorts. I think I'm a little behind on that. Specifically, we're gonna try out TikTok. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know in 6 months if I have a TikTok and what I think. And I know people have different ideas about TikTok, but it is truly you can be a business on TikTok and promote your business on there. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do a video about that. And then I always write down my income goal. I'm not gonna share that with you specifically, but it is fun because I looked back at my previous goals and I even have a couple of YouTube videos about, my 5-year plan. And I am hitting those goals, which is really exciting and it's fun. And technically, I don't know if the reason I hit the goal is because I wrote it down, but the fact that it's written down makes me realize, oh yeah, I started here and now I'm here. And that's a good feeling, right? One of my income goals does have to do with the percentage of my income sources. So I would like a larger percentage of my income to be reliant on things that I can control. So YouTube AdSense, I can't really control. They give me some money based on the ads and I literally have nothing to do with it. And it goes up and down a lot actually. And I sell my classes and I sell some other people's bookkeeping classes. So just logically, it will work out better for me if I'm selling my own classes versus other people's classes, right? So check my description box if you want a class on starting your bookkeeping business or marketing to get new clients as a bookkeeper. Anywho, moving on to the next one, let's do financial goals. So I have a retirement goal, a set amount that I want to save every year for retirement. And I just am focused on this, I think, because my husband and I started saving a little bit later for retirement, maybe than our peers. And that was because we did the whole Dave Ramsey thing where we got out of debt before we bought our house, before we started saving for retirement. And in hindsight, I might have done some things in a different order, but that's what we chose at the time, and I think it'll work out in the long run. But I do think we had to catch up for a few years in our retirement savings. And then this year, I also put a goal for my kids' college funds. Again, we haven't been doing a lot with that, so I want to get that going a little quicker. All right, and then I called it lifestyle, which is kind of like the typical, like, getting healthy things. I want to meal prep more meals. I want to exercise more. I get headaches, so I want to make sure I do my, like, stretches that help with my, like, tension headaches. I want to make sure I'm getting all of the normal doctor's appointments I need to go to as I get older, and I want to make sure to prioritize sleep. So that's kind of a big list, but I think I'm doing pretty good on some of those things, so I just need to kind of like keep them top of mind. All right, and then my category is housing, which sounds a little bit random, but like I talked about in a few videos ago, we are considering buying a new house in our same area. So I'm like, we've been talking about it, so if it's gonna happen, I should start putting it on my goals list, along with making a river house. So actually, this has been my goal for more than 10 years. And last year, I'm really happy to say we completed the majority of that project. And I haven't necessarily shared a ton about that, but it is a really big, exciting thing in my life. I understand it is 100% a privilege, and we've done it in a very budget-friendly way. So it's a very, very rustic cabin. We were able to recycle a lot of materials. We're doing it with our friends, and he's a builder, so that cuts down on a ton of costs. So I don't picture like this giant fancy like vacation house. It's not that. It's like a little cabin, very rustic cabin in the woods. But one reason I do want to share a bit about it with you guys is because that is one of the things I was able to do thanks to my bookkeeping business. I have a video with our debt-free story. That was my first initial goal, was to help our family get out of debt. So I put $1,000 a month from my bookkeeping business onto that debt. And then we got out of debt. And then I was like, okay, what's the next thing that I want to do with this extra income that we have from my bookkeeping business? So I just started saving, and it took multiple years to save up a chunk of money that we're able to use to help with that cabin. So I'm so genuinely thankful that we're able to do that. I love going to that place. It's really relaxing. It's kind of like you can get out in nature, be away from, you know, the busy everyday life. My kids are really excited to go there. They always want to plan different projects, and it's a place we're able to gather with friends and family, and it's still kind of in construction. So it's an ongoing project, but it really is adding that value to my life at this point. Okay, and then the very last category of my goal setting is called giving. So that has been a goal in my business. And if you buy one of my classes, I actually donate $25 for every class I sell to a charity that helps teach business skills to people who need it in other countries, people who are in poverty, and that is, in theory, a way to get them, you know, to be self-sufficient. So if you buy one of my classes, you are supporting that business, and I have information and the link to that charity. When you buy one of my classes, it's on like the description page for the class. So definitely not to say that I'm amazing, but just the fact that part of my mission for my business is to give back as well. And my husband and I have talked about expanding that maybe even past my business, and I'm not sure yet what that looks like, so that's still kind of coming together. And like I said, over the years, over the 10 years I've been a bookkeeper, I've been fortunate to be able to designate my money to certain financial goals. So getting out of debt, did that river house, and then now I want to come up with maybe some kind of philanthropic thing that I can do. And I have had friends that have started like nonprofits, so 501c3s for different organizations they care about. We've talked about maybe like some kind of scholarship. So let me know in the comments if you have ideas about that, if you know someone who's done something that worked out well, or if, you know, there's something related to bookkeeping or my business that seems like it would be a good fit. I'm definitely like in the thinking and dreaming stages for that. So definitely click on my video next week too. It's gonna be very bookkeeper specific. So even if you didn't really care about my personal goals, I think that one is gonna help you out a lot and be really practical.